What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, it'll be a team talk for round 21 against the Hawks. Let's get into it. So we're going to get right into these team talks because it is a bit of a, not really a doozy, but there's been a lot of mixed reviews I've been seeing on all socials, you know, on my Instagram page, over on Twitter or X or whatever it's called now. So let's sort of dissect what's going on, who's coming in and who's going out. So Collingwood made 2 changes, 3 if you include the sub. Coming out of the side, Will Hoskin-Elliott, he started as the sub last week, so he's come fully out of the side. Not injured, not nothing, omitted. He played just that last quarter, I'm pretty sure, in a little bit, or just that last quarter last week. Didn't do much, but he took a couple of good marks, but that was pretty much about it. Like I said in my preview, on my review of the game, he's a role player, and I don't think that you should be putting role players in sub positions because, okay, he can play multiple roles, but he's not going to be your super sub. He's not going to be your game changer. So that was a bit weird. Like, he's not going to be like a Bobby Hill as a sub or a Ginnivan or a Markov as a sub. So that was weird. And now he gets dropped, like fully out, which is another weird thing because he's had worse games when he has been playing and he has gotten picked the next week. So that's a little bit of a weird one for me, but he comes out of the side. Who else is coming out of the side though is huge in more ways than one. It's Mason Cox. So after a quiet month, Mason gets dropped. He gets omitted from this side, which is absolutely crazy. We probably saw it coming. He hasn't, I can't remember the last time he kicked a goal, but he hasn't been setting the world on fire. He obviously got subbed out last week for Will Hoskin-Elliott to come on. So Mason Cox come out, omitted. It's just, we knew it was coming, but it's still kind of like, oh, that's just a little bit weird to see. But I fully agree. I absolutely fully agree with that. I love Mason, and I love Mason, but yeah, he wasn't delivering, and if you don't deliver, it's not, when we're playing for finals and we've got guys waiting on the sidelines, he just wasn't delivering. You don't get to go anymore. Like, you don't get to go that week, and it is what it is. And then obviously the last one who's omitted kind of is Markov, who becomes our super sub. I love Markov as a super sub. Yeah, he did okay against Carlton, and he was providing us that run throughout the game. But as a super sub, coming on at that 3/4 time early in the fourth, just provides that run, that pace, that agility, that energy. I'm all for it. If Markov stays a sub for the rest of the year, I'm all for that. I'm fully behind it. Coming into the side, Bobby Hill, we talked about him on the preview for this game, that he would definitely be in. Craig McRae said he was definitely coming into the side, and we sort of gathered that it would be Mason Cox that comes out, and we even said it could be possibly Will Hoskin-Elliott that came out as well. So Bobby Hill comes in. He had a bit of a quiet game against Port Adelaide, but hopefully the week off, that rest, even though he was sick and he was doing training on the side and stuff, but that rest sort of boosts him up a little bit, because he is just everything that we needed in our forward line last week. We get that this week against Hawthorn. The second guy coming in is an absolute fan favourite. One of my absolute favourites in the team right now is Ash Johnson. He's kicked 7 goals in 2 weeks in the VFL. This kid, he can be anything and he can do anything and everything. We've seen him kick goals from the boundary. We've seen him kick goals from 55 out, slotting him. I was taking the mark going around, now slotting the one against Essendon as well. He can do anything. He's good below his knees, can take a great mark. And like I said in my preview for the game, will be a good foil for Dan McStay and Brody Mychek and Jamie Elliott to a certain extent. So I would love to see how these 3 guys, the 3 big tools, work in that forward line, because, McStay and Checkers weren't working well with Cox. Cox just looked lost out there, unfortunately. And maybe if he puts a couple of good weeks in the VFL, there's probably, he can probably come back in if things change or whatever. But it's Ash Johnson at the moment. He's just been flying in the VFL. And you got to think that before his last 2 VFL games, the game that he got dropped after, he kicked 3 goals. So he's on fire in the AFL as well. So he's kicked 10 goals in his last 3 weeks. Hopefully we see a little bit more of that, maybe 2 or 3 goals when he comes back into the side against Hawthorn. But it's going to be really, really interesting. Coming in for Hawthorn, you've got Koschitzke, Reeves, Morrison, Scrimshaw. Koschitzke and Reeves, they just want to sort of spread our defenders. Or Koschitzke's really tall, he'll push into that forward line. Obviously, he's a good forward. Ned Reeves as well there, ruckman, so Darcy's going to have his work cut out for him. And you probably think McStay and maybe, I don't know, maybe Ash Johnson sort of pinch hits in that ruck, or Darcy Cameron does the sort of whole rucking by himself. Scrimshaw comes in as a defender because going out is Bramble, Meek, McKenzie, Frost with a foot, and Brockman. So Frost is obviously their defender. I don't know how much they're going to miss him, you know, to be honest, but Scrimshaw comes in, sort of takes that Frosty position. But like I said, our defenders are going to have their work cut out for them. Very tall forward line. You obviously got Mitch Lewis in there. Would I have preferred a Billy Frampton as well to come in? Probably. Does that mean that we probably won't see Jeremy Howe up forward? I think, yeah, I think that experiment is not done because it worked really well. I think Collingwood posted that it was Howe's first 3-goal haul since like 2013 or something crazy like that. So it works well, but can we afford to sort of lose him if they're all, you know, playing tall in that in their forward line? So that's going to be really interesting as well. In regard to our lineup, though, I think this might be one of the strongest lineups we've had in the last at least 6 weeks. People on Instagram are saying that this is the strongest team we've fielded all season. Yeah, look, we've obviously got a clean bill of health, so this is probably the best team that we can put out there. Billy Frampton, really stiff to miss out, especially against these talls that Hawthorn are bringing in. Ginnivan's doing a lot well in the VFL. Maybe if he just puts 1 or 2 more games underneath his belt, he'll get that call up against Geelong or against the Brisbane Lions. So we're going to definitely see with that. But I think that this lineup is an A+ for me. Honestly, these ins and outs are A+. This lineup is a big A+ for me, and I'm just very, very excited to see what we're able to produce against Hawthorn on Saturday. But let me know your thoughts down below. What did you rate this squad or these ins and outs from 1 to 10, from A to F? Let me know all your thoughts down below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, Double Shakers. I'll see you later.